I thought my top 10 albums were probably about to be worse. This is probably about to be very controversial. What's going on, beach? So we're counting down the year end of 2020, and I have to say that music in 2020 has been pretty decent. Some people hit the mark, others didn't. And yeah, let's see who missed. These are my top 10 most unmemorable albums, and the reason why I say unmemorable is because they might not be as bad as I intended them to be. I just don't see myself listening to these albums ever again because they're just not that memorable. Not that they might be worse. Actually, some of them are. But I just don't see myself listening to these albums anymore or as much. Maybe one or two, and I'll tell you which ones, but not as much, you know? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this started. You ready? I'm ready. I want all the smoke, so come on. Alrighty, coming in at number 10, I have Selena Gomez's Rare. Now, this is actually one of the albums on the list where I'm like, there are maybe 1 to 2 to 3 songs that I wouldn't mind listening to again, especially if, you know, I just think about it and it just pops up in my head and I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? As far as listening to the entire album elsewise, no, I don't see myself listening to this album. I just feel like the production could have definitely been more for her voice, but I also just feel like a lot of the songs weren't captivating enough for me to be like, oh, I really want to listen to this again. I will say, again, there were only like 2 to 3 songs. Lose You to Love Me was one of them. I love Crowded Room. Cut You Off. That's pretty much it. Everything else, I don't know. I don't even remember what they sound like, to be quite honest. That's just how much irrelevant the album was to me. And the thing is, I love Selena Gomez's voice, and I really feel like she can sing her ass off too. I just didn't get much of that in this album. I really didn't. I really felt like she could have did a lot more. But I also felt like the productions just wasn't hitting for me. It didn't captivate me enough to make me want to go back and listen to the album. And yeah, that was kind of a Debbie Downer. Nonetheless though, oh my God. I love her makeup line. Like, the blushes are everything. I wish I was wearing them, but I'm kind of going for a soft glam look today. Okay, coming in at number 9, I have Miss Meghan Trainor's Treat Myself. Now again, this is yet another album where there are probably at least maybe 1 or 2 songs that I can possibly go back and listen to, but as far as this album, yeah, this album is very unmemorable for me. And the thing is, I gave this album a very fair review because I really do thought there were some songs that, you know, could really blow up and, you know, get Megan back into that spotlight she was once in, you know, when she first came out. But I think Megan, the music that she makes is music for like everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like if a song by Meghan Trainor comes on in public, I don't mind listening to it. But am I personally gonna have it in my playlist? No, I'm not gonna be looking for it to be like, oh, what's this one song from, who is this? No, her music is not that captivating enough for me. So again, I definitely feel like she's one of those artists that try to make music for everybody to listen to, but it's like, girl, make songs that you enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Do you enjoy the music, or are you just making this to please people? Although I really do love the concept of the album Treat Myself and a lot of the songs that were talking about, you know, treating herself and making herself better. Songs like Working On It and Ashes and No Excuses. Fun songs like Evil Twin, you know, stuff like that. Finding love in her partner, her little man. Oh, that's cute. But again, I just don't think any of these songs were that memorable. I really don't remember a lot of the songs on the album, to be quite honest, so. But coming in at number 8, I have, oh, this one's gonna hurt a little bit. I have Miss Alicia Keys's Alicia. It's so crazy because the last album she put out in 2018, was it 2018? Yeah, the last album she put out in 2018 here, I actually liked that album. Or was it 2016? But yes, when this album came out, a part of me was excited, but not really, because the singles that were released, I was like, not making me that interested to see what the album is about. I don't know. The song Underdog, which is probably the biggest song coming out of this album for Alicia, I mean, the song cool. I don't per se like it, but it's not something that I would throw on every day and listen to. The only song that I've really been repeating heavily off this album is Jill Scott. I love that song, and it's so simple. It's just the way that it's sung and the production on it. Kiss on me, kiss on me, kiss on me in the daytime. Front of the whole show. I want you to love on me, love on me, love on me in the daytime. Like you do at bedtime. Give 'em front row. Show up for love. Go off for love. Cause the world needs love. Okay, let me stop. But also another funky thing about this album is the production and like the composing of this album. It's a little off for me and it's a little strange. And I'm just like, I just don't vibe with it. I just don't vibe with the album. It's nice, it's okay. I just don't vibe with the whole album. There's only like, again, just that song. And what was it? Gramercy Park? Oh, Show Me Love with Miguel. That's another good song too. Show me love, treat it like we freaking on the weekend. Show me love. I eat up the second times and reasons for your love. Okay, coming in at number 7, I have Mr. Childish Gambino's 3/15/20. Now, before I say this, I don't know if it was his intention to put out an album this year, because I think somebody said it got leaked. So, yeah. This album was literally a one-time listen. That's how much I really didn't care for this album. I mean, I gave it a pretty fair review when I first listened to it, but afterwards, I didn't go back to the album. It didn't captivate me enough. First of all, we have the first song on the album, which is a 2-minute song of repetitiveness and echo-ness and reverbness of we are, yo. That's the best you could come up with? Maybe it's just me. And I also feel like some songs were just too overly produced and too long, to be quite honest to say. Algorithm with the deep voice. I just know it's in the concrete. It did not hit for me. It just did not work. It did not work. It did not work. But yeah, I just also feel like some songs were too long, too lengthy, didn't really keep my interest. It was at some point where I just really got sick and tired of listening to the album, and some stuff just felt like there was really no effort being put into it. The only song that's really enjoyable that I even heard already was Feel Like Summer, and I forget which number on the album that's placed because he has, I guess, timestamps. Yeah, but that's the only one. Everything else I can really live without. I don't really care for this album too much. It really gave me a headache, sorta. So Mr. Childish Gambino, sir, you're gonna have to redeem yourself from me because this was just not it. All right, number 6 for top 10 unmemorable albums, I have Mr. Black Bear for Everything Means Nothing. I was interested in seeing about Black Bear because he has a popular song out at a time called Hot Girl Bummer. And I'm like, okay, if it's Hot Girl Summer, what is this Hot Girl Bummer song? But I never got into it and I never listened to it until one day I was like, oh, he had an album? Let me check this out. And I see exactly why people really like that song because first of all, the chorus is catchy and it's just, you know, a very pop rockish kind of song. Fuck you and you, and you. I hate your friends and they hate me too. Like, that's catchy. It's catchy. I will admit, I will catch myself singing that shit a couple of times. I will. Going into listening to this album, there were some songs that kind of caught my eye, but what also made it like very draining and also just like not interested for me was just like how stagnant his voice was. And the production, a lot of it just felt like I've heard it before. Nothing like too unique for me. So it was just like a generic kind of pop album. Hot Girl Bummer is also the only song I can really remember off this album. I really don't remember anything else. Again, that's just how unmemorable the album was for me. Ooh, we are crossing territory now because we are in the top 5. Coming in at number 5, I have Mr. Tory Lanez's Daystar. Now, this album is not as bad as I was trying to make it to be, because I was gonna place it even higher on the list. But it's actually an okay album, but what really just like made me turn the other cheek with this is just his situation. How are you gonna put out an album and then you go on IG Live and start explaining yourself? I didn't. But there are maybe 1 to 2 songs off this album that are actually pretty enjoyable and that I actually dig. But it's just, again, solid wise with this album, I can just see myself dismissing it. It's just, yeah, it ain't it for me. It ain't it for me. Number 4, oh my God, I can't fucking stand this album. I'm really about to get reckless in this bitch. Number 4, I have Party Next Door's Party Mobile. I just started thinking about when Drake was saying how there were certain people that should have been nominated for Grammys for Album of the Year, and he had Party Next Door on there, and really? As trash as this fucking album was, he deserved a nomination? Fuck out of here. This album was completely boring. Boring as hell. Okay? I just don't understand. You have Drake and Rihanna on here. The song with him and Drake is fantastic. I actually have it in my playlist. But you were able to snag Rihanna. You mean to tell me you couldn't get a verse out of her? Are you serious? Nah, sir. Nah, sir. It's the repetitiveness in the production. It's the repetitiveness in his lyrics. It's lazy to me. It's boring to me. I remember when I was reacting to it and there was a song on here called The Savage Song or something. I remember me actually caring for that song, but again, this album is so unmemorable. I just don't care to listen to it. Come again, try again next time. Coming in at number 3, I have Miss Katy Perry's Smile. I've never actually listened to a full project from Katy Perry, but I listened to enough music from her back in the day to know that she that bitch. But she wasn't really that bitch in this album. This yet sounds like another repetitive, generic pop album. And Katy Perry is too legendary to be putting out half-ass shit, if we want to be technical. The only songs that I can really remember from this album being good, in my opinion, were Never Really Over was good. I did bop that for a minute. Harley's in Hawaii is cool, but I just never played it over again. Everything else I can really pass on. I know I reacted to Daisies, but I just never went back to the song, and I never went back to the album. Like, it was a one-time listen for me. That's it. And I'm just like, really, Katy? That's all you have to serve, girl? That's all you have? You too legendary for this. You too big for this, girl. Oh my God. I don't know where the declining is heading with you, Miss Katy, but you're pregnant too, so congratulations. Maybe, you know, a child does change your perspective of life. I don't know, but I'm just saying this album was just not it. I was very disappointed with it. Yeah. We'll see what you have next time. Coming in at number 2 is Justin Bieber's Changes. What the fuck was this? You like R&B music, you grew up on R&B music, we're not gonna take that away from you. We know you can sing your ass off, we're not gonna take that away from you. I don't know. Cause a lot of your old shit was popping, but I don't know like what this album is. I don't know what you were trying to do. Because it doesn't work for you. This album doesn't work for you. Fucking trash ass 11 to 12 songs the first beginning of this album. Well, Come Around Me was okay. He could have done more. Take It Out on Me was actually cool too. But it's just, you got songs like Yummy. I really don't care for Intentions. You have Lil Dicky, that Lil Dicky song, hell of annoying. You had Travis Scott. And I fucking hate that song. You had Forever with Post Malone and some other guy. Cannot stand that song either. I just don't understand what was going on with this album. Like those little trap rap productions were not it for you. It just does not suit you, sir. It does not suit you. Like if you're gonna fully transition over to R&B, do that. Keep the trap somewhere else because it's not for you, Justin. It's not for you. It's not. You could have gave me more songs like Get Me with Kehlani, ETA, and Changes and like Confirmation. It's just like those whole first 11 to 10 songs just really threw me off to the point where I don't even care about the last little ending of the R&B side. I just don't. This album was atrocious. This album was disappointing and this album was a letdown. And to see how desperate you were to really push Yummy to go number 1. Sir, you too old to be making some kiddie shit like this. I mean, on a positive note, congratulations for your Grammy nominations, even though he doesn't deserve it. But congratulations, either way, not gonna take that away from you. But anyway, and finally, we've come to the conclusion of the number 1 most unmemorable albums of 2020. And I am proud to give that number 1 spot to the clout-chasing rapper himself, Mr. 6ix9ine. For Tattletales. Complete fucking garbage. You know what's really a headache? I actually gave this album a chance. I tried to give him a chance because the thing is, I've never cared for 6ix9ine. Before he even went to jail and all the snitching, I never cared for him because I just saw him as another gimmick rapper. Like his antics, the shit he does, it really annoys the fuck out of me. I just don't care for the dude. The part of me was like, Devontae, just still give the album a chance. Who knows? Maybe everybody just, sleeps on him. Maybe there's something very fire about the album. Who knows? It's just his over-cockiness, the fact that people really just overhype his antics really turns me off with him. Not in a sexual way, ugh. But I just don't understand how you think screaming on tracks and just saying shit is just rap. I don't understand. How do you think screaming on tracks and shouting shit and just basically being such a fucking clout chaser and just doing the shit that you do with your antics is rap? When he came back with Gooba, like I understand fun songs are fun songs. Trust and believe, I understand everybody doesn't have to be such a bar-hitting, flow kind of guy. Like, of course we're gonna need fun music. This was just annoying. And then you had the song with Nicki Minaj, Trolls, saying Nicki Minaj would have never had a number 1 if it wasn't for me. No, you would have never had a number 1 if it wasn't for Nicki Minaj, okay? Don't disrespect the queen. I just don't understand like the people in your circle and how they're just really pushing this shit. It's not gonna look good for you. I don't know what a lot of these rappers are doing, but that album was not it at all. And that's why this is probably the most irrelevant #1 album coming out of 2020. Cause sir, you tried it. And you failed up on motherfucking Instagram passing out your CDs on the damn street. You're that desperate. And that is it for this review. So listen, let me know what was your most unmemorable albums of 2020. If they're worst albums, hell, let me know. Let's chat it up in the comments, okay? Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and share this video if you love me. If you have any video recommendations, let me know. I can definitely see if I can get to them before the end of this year. And I will definitely see y'all next year. Bye.